My pleasure. Was it the bit about ripping the thief apart that you enjoyed? A little before that abject violence, if it's not too much trouble. Chassis with a host as well. Hello. How are you, Chassis? Nice to see you. How's things going? Everything well? Yes, of course. I am alive! You are alive! That's excellent. This could be it. This could shift the balance. The victim puts on a fine performance, but in reality is a common thief of my company's gas. Ooh. Been swamped with work. Yeah, I remember the last time I spoke to you, you said that work was like really picking up again. So, yeah. But hey, I mean, that's a good thing in a sense, but ooh, it got worse. Yeah, as it is wont to do from time to time, right?
Hold it!
Right, we're going to press her a little more on this. So that's a bold claim. How can you be so sure? It's really very simple. Noble lady of gas, I pray thee, hold thy tongue. I beg your pardon. Hath that rank odoured air that doth our darkness illuminate any place in this assembly? Nay, 'tis a sole import here that someone will extinguish the light of mine own life. I don't like this guy. Me neither. It's really hard to read out loud with this ye olde Shakespearean English. All this Elizabethan bullshit. Oh my god. Verily, I ne'er recall stealing thy gas. But pray, let the matter rest till anon. Why, you little... Begging your pardon, my lady, but might I suggest you don't say any more at this stage? We need Harvard evidence first. If I keep secretly watching this bloke, I'll get him in the end. He'll slip up. You think maybe that the secret's out of the bag by now? Oh, this is so frustrating. You know what I like as well is that her umbrella looks like a wasp's tail with a stinger on the end. I like that. That's pretty cool. Alright, he wants the trial over quickly because he needs to bring 5 bob home tonight or the wife will blow her top. Yeah, the character designs in these games are always so good. This is an additional costume, and the one that his assistant has as well. This isn't the default costume that our character usually wears. But in the second game you can add these in, so they're available in the options menu. You keep talking about needing to take home some money. What's all that about, sir? Finish, lass. That's what it's about. What's that? I'm talking about the derby at Hyde Park, aren't I? It was the Queen's Cup last week, wasn't it? Let me guess. You bet some money on a horse and it lost. A derby? It was a dead cert, that's the thing. I couldn't lose, so I took my wife's secret savings, like... But then that hopeless old mare went and did the unthinkable. Ugh, that stupid Finnish lass. Oh dear, I think it's clear what's happened, isn't it? Yeah, I like her outfit. It's really good. This is the day the missus uses her savings for a trip down to the pub. You gambled your wife's drinking money away. Do you want to die? So come on, let this business lie now. Just give it up. No, that's not gonna happen. Denied. She's cute, yeah. No, Shy wouldn't be happy, although then again Shy doesn't drink at all, so that's fine as well. But that would be like saying if I gambled her yarn money. Can you imagine? You would see the explosion from halfway around the world. You know. Oh, yeah. 3 hours of missing time's nothing when you reach my age, you know, nothing at all.
Hold it!
I would die. I would be vaporized in a glare. What do you mean by that, sir? Well, I'm not one to boast, but I get up at 5 every morning, I do. At 5? You're a really early riser then, aren't you? Huh? What's that now? I said you're an early riser. You've got to do this. Yes. Thank you for the 40-month resub. Chassis, that's awesome. We're at 90%. of the sub goal. We just did a giveaway today as well because we recently hit the bits goal. So we're getting close to the sub goal, and there's a double giveaway waiting because I didn't do one for the last one because I was in the middle of moving. So everything was a little all over the place and I didn't get time to do one. So we've got 2 game giveaways to do when we hit this sub goal. Yay! I said you're an early riser. Oh, well, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I like to while away the hours in the evening reading books as well. But by about 2 in the morning, I'm usually too tired to go on. He sleeps at 2 in the morning and gets up at 5? Jesus. Oh my, that means he only has 3 hours of sleep each night. Huh? What's that, dear? And he's a surgeon. Only 3 hours of sleep each night. That's right. You see, 3 hours of missing time. Like I said, it's not much, is it? This really isn't helping. Alright, so the key to the summation examination is identifying the contradictions between the juror statements, Mr. Naruhodo. And once I've found 2 jurors whose statements can't coexist, I pit them against each other. Then hopefully they'll see what they're saying doesn't make sense and they'll challenge their leaning. Yes, and if you're able to change the minds of a majority of the jurors, the trial will continue. But conversely, if you're unable to do that, the judge will declare the trial over and move to adjudication. I'll let that happen. Somehow or another, I have to turn the trial around. So we know this guy. If you show me the victim's a liar, I'll consider my position. She says the gentleman has no reason to lie. I think he's rather splendid. He's saying that the Japanese guy who's the defendant is very fishy. She, however, is saying the victim puts on a fine performance. These 2 aren't in the running at all. I don't think we can do anything with either of their statements. So he puts on a fine performance, but in reality he's a common thief of my company's gas. This guy has no reason to lie. I think he's splendid. If you can show me he's a liar, I'll consider my position. We don't have a reason to lie. Like, we don't know what his reason is for pointing the finger at Mr. Natsume yet. We haven't got a clue on that. Like, why is he doing this? I can't really think of a reason why he would do that, so maybe it'll come up in the middle of this and we'll get like a light bulb moment. But this guy, if you can show me he's a liar, I'll consider my position. And she's saying he's a thief. So I wonder if we have to pit her against him. But before I do, I want to save it, just in case the game crashes when I do it, because you never know. You never know. I might have to reload it. And I don't want to lose a lot of progress, right? So I think we have to pit him against him. Or her. But I don't know if him stealing gas is in any way related to a reason to lie. And we don't have proof. But we do as well. I already know how he's stealing gas. I figured that out before this actually came up. But let's see. Yeah, we got it right, I think. Maybe. Those 2 statements clearly contradict each other. Good gracious. To whose statements do you refer, counsel? Juror number 1. Hey, what are you yelling about, lad? I presume you've heard juror number 4's statement made by the wife of the owner of Altamont Gas. Well, yes. Your Honor! Hello! Hi there! Come on in. The victim who you claim to be a noble, straight-up man, in fact, turns out to be a common thief. So the good lady says, but there's no evidence, is there? You and I both heard them say as much. It's true, we don't have any evidence as such just yet. But the claims aren't baseless, you know. What? You heard me. Seeing as his operation has already been compromised, I would suggest the court hears testimony from our East End branch office employee over there. I'll do whatever you say, milady. Gasman's honor. Juror number 1, you say you're a man of your word. If I could show that Mr. Shamspear was a liar, you assured me that you would reconsider your decision about the defendant's guilt. Yes, I did say that. And as a man of my honor, I'll hold to it. As I'm sure the other gentlemen of the jury will. Me? Oh, well, yes. Now that we've found out the man's a liar, perhaps we ought to consider the matter further. Well, if I'm perfectly honest, I haven't heard half of what you've all been saying. So if this means you'll recap a few points, that would suit me down to the ground. His chin is enormous, it is, yeah. Oh no, I'm not having any part of this. I want the trial over and done with. In that case, I shall change my leaning. So, Mr. William Shamspear, if that is your real name, we of the jury demand to know exactly what kind of a man you really are. Boom! Yeah, boy! From one examination, we moved 4 jurors. That's 4 jurors for not guilty? Yes, Mr. Naruhodo. Victory! Sweet justice. Order! Order! Well, this is quite extraordinary, I must say. As a result of the defense's summation examination, the jury's leaning has been changed. Now only 2 jurors say guilty while 4 say not guilty. Therefore I declare this court to be in a state of discord. And in order for the trial to I order the trial to continue. Speaking of discord, guys, we have a server. Do the command. Get in there. Shit, he's at it again. You have spoilt the bouquet, Mr. Shamspear. The ladies and gentlemen of the jury now find they are unable to trust you, the victim. Not that command, Your Honor. But you gods will give us some faults to make us men. So God mend me, I do swear. This gasman speaketh that which concerns him most, naught but gas, naught but thin air. Aye, it burneth bright a while, but it hath no substance, and it doth reek foul. Oi, what do you say? You what, mate? You want chinning? Do I take it, Mr. Shamspear, that you deny the allegations of gas thievery? Most heartily, my lord, hast thou forgot, as I am as a seraph, an angel, noble of mind, sweet of nature, and verily, honest of heart. Ugh, you flowery-mouthed, pompous beanpole, just 'cause I haven't gotten the evidence yet. That guy makes a victim from himself just from his looks. Oh yeah. Mr. Shamspear, if in fact you are not noble of mind, sweet of nature, or honest of heart, if you are a liar, then your testimony should have no sway in the courtroom. It is my considered opinion that at the present time no other possible culprit of the crime has been identified. All testimony of the court thus far heavily implicates the defendant. In short, it would not be unreasonable at this stage for me to rule on the case. Oh no. However, in light of the fact that the jury has expressed concern about the fidelity of the witness, I believe it would be inappropriate for this court not to pursue the point further. I assure you, my lord, that would be a waste of the court's time. The gas and this case are unrelated. Juror number 4? Yes? Didn't you say before that although you had no hard evidence to prove that the man has been stealing gas, you have a strong ground for suspecting him? That's right, we do. Don't we, worker? He has a name. Absolutely, Lady Quimby. Gasman's honor. Wasted the court's time? Jeez, you're gonna get paid more. Exactly. Unless he gets a fixed salary because he's the public prosecutor. I don't know. Very well then. We will hear your testimony now. You will tell the court precisely why you believe the victim, Mr. William Shamspeare, has been stealing gas. Yes, my lord, it will be my pleasure. On the Altamont gas name, if I may, my lord. Go ahead, madam. This worker's testimony may have a significant bearing on the good name of my husband's company. Therefore, I should like to take the stand alongside him in a supervisory role, if you wouldn't mind. Oh yeah! Sweet as honey! Yeah. Wow. Dude. I think he's sweet on her. Very well. As an exception, I shall honor your request. Thank you, my lord. You wait till the boss gives you an earful. Oh, it's gonna sting. You mark my words. Your boss is coming for you. He's gonna give you the clamps. You wanna get clamped? He likes her. Oh, he probably does. Either that or he's just excited because she's going to take the stand and really tear into this other guy. And he's like, oh, I can't fucking wait to see this. Get the popcorn. So, you will both testify before the court on the subject of illegal consumption of the Altamont Gas Company's fuel. Yes. Is that clear, my good man? Clear as Altamont gas, my lady. Which is the clearest in the world. Yeah, you excited. Do you think the gas has gone to his head, Miss Susato? I think the man is just a very dedicated employee, Mr. Naruhodo. No, he's living his best life, bless him. The investigation. I'm proud to be the company's East End branch investigator and meter money collection agent. Altamont gas meters accept threepenny bits, each coin giving the customer about 2 hours of gorgeous gas. And yet, the meter in Mr. Shamspeare's room didn't have a single coin in it. The meter doesn't appear to have been tampered with though, and the collection agent has the only key. Somehow he's using all the flaming gas he wants without paying a penny, and if that's not thieving, what is? And we already know how he's doing it! Pray forgive the discourtesy. The irrelevance of the testimony caused me to turn to my hallowed chalice. What do you mean by that remark, Lord Van Zykes? Did the mustachioed Nipponese poison the gangling excuse for an accident, or didn't he? That is all we should concern with this court. And yet now we must listen to this abhorrence. There's another one. Too bad Susato's not dressed as him now. Clearly what separates the vast British Empire and your Eastern Island nation is more than geographical distance. Oh, here he goes again with the racism. But this could turn out to be crucial testimony. The cross-examination must go ahead. This is the credibility. Oh, fuck, there goes the bottle as well. He's like, nah, fuck this. Do what you will. Throwing a perfectly good glass. He does that like 5 or 6 times a trial. The dude, like, he'll have more. That bench that he's at is probably a full bar down there. So he gets paid as well. Yeah, exactly. Lord Van Zykes appears to be in a violent mood. Yes, he does. An attempted poisoning and an incidence of gas theft with no supporting evidence. It's true that they would appear to be completely unrelated at first glance, but I wonder. The truth tends to be buried in the most unusual places. Like in soap. And the first step in uncovering it will be to establish just who and what this man really is. It goes to his credibility as a witness as well. So, of course it's relevant. Even though the gas theft isn't necessarily related to the poisoning, it's relevant. He's nuts! Yes, he is. I bet he just takes a sip from the bottle of wine and throws it each time. Alright, so he's the investigator and collection agent, so let's press him on that. Does that mean you enter people's houses in order to empty the gas meter? That's what I do. I have to try to catch people when they're in. Then I asked permission to come inside and do my business. Does that mean you've been into Mr. Natsume's room before as well as Mr. Shamspear? Well now, interesting you should bring that up, because I couldn't believe how little money was in his meter. I mean, how the pair of them survived the winter is beyond me, it really is. Knowing Mr. Natsume, he probably spends all of his gas money on books. And then when he's finished reading them, he probably burns them for warmth. Probably does. You will kindly reiterate your statement about the gas meters themselves, Mr. Meterman. Not much to say really, but as you wish. Altamont gas meters accept threepenny bits, each coin giving customers about 2 hours of gorgeous gas. So all London houses have a gas supply that are fitted with these gas meters, are they? They're the latest model, the height of technology developed by our company, Altamont Gas. And anyone who uses our gas will have one of these meters in their property, yes. So, if a 3p coin gives 2 hours of gas, most people would use about 3 coins at a night. A bit more than that, usually if they have both gas lights and a gas stove, that is. Thinking about it, Soseki-san doesn't have a fireplace in his room of his, does he? Some people still choose to use candles, of course, and only have gas for heating. Ah yes, I do remember seeing candles in Mr. Natsume's room actually, and huge piles of books right next to the candles. It's like, oh, this place is gonna burn down one day, isn't it? Can't they just check the cameras? Exactly. They could. Only if Mr. Sholmes has fitted a camera there, though. How does the money in the meter get back to you at the gas company? Every 3 days, gasmen like me visit the properties on the gas supply and empty the meter of coins. I must say, the designs and manufacture of the new meter cost of the company are an awful lot of money. But happily, it did put a stop to people not paying their dues for the most part. Ah, because they have to pay in advance, you mean? Yes, exactly right. And yet, the meter in Mr. Shamspear's room didn't have a single coin in it. Hold it! Out of interest, how long has this been going on? Weeks and weeks. He's been pinching gas off us for ages. You've examined the meter in Mr. Shamspear's room, I take it. Naturally. We took it off the wall and went over it with a fine-tooth comb. And found nothing suspicious at all, I presume. No, I'm afraid we didn't. Which is exactly why I demanded a new type of meter to be produced, one with an indestructible lock. The Shamspear Special. I'm gonna name it after him, wow. Sounds like it would have to cost an awful lot of 3p pieces. But after all that, the rascal's meter was still empty. I'll never forget the humiliation when I opened the money box and found it bare. You what? I said, you what, mate? You what, mate? And the look on his face, the smarmy smile of his. Oh, I could just knock it right off his face, I could. I pulled the meter straight off the wall and took it back to the office. But you know what? Nothing. Oh my god, stop strangling yourself, dude. Not a trace of it being jimmied open anywhere, not a single sign. And what's happening to my salary as a result? It's down by 3 shillings a day, that's what. A life-threatening situation in a number of ways. Again, he's lifting his armband up that would normally be there on the default costume, but they didn't put it on this one. Incidentally, what became of that meter? Nothing became of it. I've still got it. Oh. Right here. Damn, he brought it with him. No wonder they call you Mr. Meterman. It's a strong scarf. Oh, yeah. I think it would be prudent for the court to sequester this item while the trial is ongoing. It has been added as evidence. Okay. Definitely. Although at first glance there doesn't appear to be anything unusual about it. Let's move this along, shall we? Continue with your testimony. Although I would say it has as much value as the contents of that meter. Oof. Oof. Let's have a look at that. Let's check the meter. It's a very sturdy looking padlock, isn't it? And the money box is sealed with beeswax too. So if Mr. Sholmes were to get up to any mischief, he'd be found out immediately. Mr. Naruhodo, mischief of that kind is not the sort of thing that Mr. Sholmes would... You know you didn't finish the sentence, don't you? Well, anyway. It's understandable that the gas company would want to safeguard the money that's rightfully theirs. But it does feel a little over the top, perhaps, doesn't it? Yeah. This must be where the gas comes in and out. Like it goes into the box and then out the other end when the meter's open. So it does have a lock on it. And that's the coin slot. Hey, what is this now? This all lines up with my theory that I came up with earlier. I need to run off due to the fact that you have to get ready for work. Bye all. No problem, Chassis. Take care. Thank you for the resub. Much appreciated. See you later. Work sucks indeed. It does. He had it in his back pocket. Or well, it would be in his satchel bag, I think. But yeah, here we go. I'll reiterate my theory to you guys in a moment. But we looked at this earlier. And I was like, this might come up, but I can't think how yet. And now I can see where this is going. I know it's exactly what I've seen. Oh, what's... Have you spotted something, Mr. Naruhodo? Just here, there's a little hole, do you see? Goodness, you're right. I wouldn't have noticed. Not a very neat hole, is it? Not professionally made, I'd say. So, you think it might have been opened by Mr. Shamspear? Possibly. It seems the people at Altamont Gas must have missed it. Well, it certainly seems to go all the way through to the inside. Yeah, but there's no way a coin would fit through there. That's true, but even so, it seems a little more than suspicious. Excellent. What earlier theory? Yeah, I'll go over that now as well. Hey V! Is this a big titty game or is that tomorrow? It's always big titty game. Yeah, I don't know, maybe we'll play this again tomorrow or we might play some more Skyrim. I'll see how my throat feels, because 3 to 4 hours of this reading out loud, surprising how it takes a toll. You don't stop for the whole stream. Alright, I'm wondering what this fucking thing is swinging around. It's her umbrella. Ah, but is this the big titty game with the porno chat room? No! No, that was Yakuza, if you remember. That's a long time ago now. We've gone through that. Okay, here's my theory. So, this is how they found Shamspear. He's passed out, and people thought he was killed by poisoning, but it turns out he was fine. He didn't actually die from whatever poison it was. His window is bricked up because of the window tax that they used to have in the city, which is now gone, but people haven't been able to afford to put windows back in since. You like reminding me and anyone who wasn't there, I know. And it was not my idea to do any of that. Thinking about Skyrim and big titties, I wonder if someone made a mod to make 6 big titties for Khajiits. Probably. I would not be surprised. There's some people like that out there. And you don't want to delve into the adult mods for that game, like some weird ones. So, some of the bricks in this guy's thing are loose, right? Also, we noticed there's bars of soap on the table, and it seemed like he was doing something to it with a fork, and we're not entirely sure what. Okay? However, when we removed the bricks from the window, on the window ledge outside in the freezing snow, we found a bar of soap. We found 3 of them. And when we looked at the bar of soap, it was like, oh, there's a fancy little emblem on the soap, but it's like a stamp or something. You know, kind of like as if it was a branded thing. You know, like the Imperial leather soaps that have like the thing on them. You know. Yeah, open-minded, but even then, ooh. Anyway, inside this, when we had it the previous day after taking it out of the window, there was a reddish brown disc in there. It's not there anymore. And as soon as I can't remember what we were thinking about, like with the soap or something, and I thought that reddish brown disc, and I looked at this, I saw this, and I was like, oh shit, I recognize what's happened. What was in there melted, because he was freezing them on the window ledge. And it looks like a coin. And then I remembered when we saw this photo a bit earlier in the case, there was a wet patch underneath the meter. He's using ice to pay for money, to pay for the gas as fake money, and then it would melt out of the meter so they would find nothing. And he can just claim, well, I guess your meters are broken, right? So that's the theory I had about what this guy was doing with the soap at the very least. How it comes into the whole poisoning, it maybe doesn't, but it is a means now that we can use to discredit the character. And like I said, I recognized what he was doing with this because I was like, that's soap. What the fuck was the soap on the window ledge about? And then it struck me that there was a thing in it. And it's like, is that a coin? Oh, it's gone. It was an ice coin. So yeah, and there's 3 of them. 3 of them. You can use about 3 coins an evening for 2 hours of gas apiece to get 6 hours of gas. Boom, done. Wolf too smart. I know, I figured this bit out before I even knew what the hell it meant. And if this was his meter, he punctures a hole in the bottom of the new meters so that, you know, A, it doesn't look like he's taking the money back out. If they ever find the hole, it's always too small to get a coin out of. But B, it does let the water drain, otherwise this would be full of water, and then they would think, is he putting ice in there in the shape of a coin? But he's using the soap as a mold to make ice coins. Pretty cool, right? Alright, so the meter doesn't appear to have been tampered with, and the collection agent has the key. Well, I think we can probably present evidence to that and show the hole in the meter. So there's only 1 key for all of your meters? Well, in truth, there's another key at the company vault at our main office. But even if someone had somehow managed to get hold of the key, we'd know it if the coin box had been opened. Oh, how? I came up with a rather clever way to expose any little shenanigans as it happens. Would you care to explain? Well now, in order to empty a meter, you have to unlock the padlock and remove the cover. But when I close the cover again, I stick a little beeswax seal on it, you see? A seal, like the sort of thing you'd put on an envelope, you mean? Because nobody would ever be able to remelt that wax and reapply it. Something like that, yes. Basically, you can't remove the cover again without breaking the seal. Now, in the case of Mr. Shamspeare's meter, there were no coins inside at all, as I said. And the seal hadn't been broken either. That would mean Mr. Shamspere somehow manages to steal coins from inside the meter without opening it. Don't look at me, Naruhodo. It would seem so, but that would be impossible. So he's using all the gas he wants without paying a penny. If that's not thieving, I don't know what is. Right, we'll go through this and then we'll come back to that second to last statement and show her that the meter's been tampered with the hole. How do you know he's been using gas, though? Well now, since I started investigating the bloke, I've been to his room more than a few times. On every single occasion his lamps have been blazing and his stove's pounding. It's the middle of winter and he still turns to me, sweat dripping down his cheeks, and says, "Get thee to a nunnery." Hamlet indeed. Ah, I could wring the bloke's neck. I get all hot under the collar, but still, every time I open the flaming meter it's empty. He's robbing me of my salary too. What's wrong with the world? Where's the justice? Is this game a game of decisions, or does it give you the answer if you spam through the text? No, you still have to know what to pair with what. As an example, when we come around to this next thing, I'll show you what I mean. But you have to pick evidence from your court record that contradicts statements, so you still need to be able to figure it out. Sometimes it's pretty damn obvious, other times it's not. Like, you have to bluff sometimes and say, but, you know, and you have to bluff with it. So, you know, you still need to apply some deductive reasoning, but it is very much a kinetic novel in that sense. Once you get the right parts of the puzzle together to move it on to the next bit, it all plays out in a fixed way. So there's no branching paths and possibility of getting it right or wrong, or accusing the wrong people and coming to a different ending. There's no multiple endings to it. But what's obvious to Mr. Smarty Pants might not be to the rest of us. Yeah, well, that's the thing, you know. Sometimes this game wants you to guess without giving you a single fucking clue. And it does annoy me when it does that. It's like, this character will say, right, I've got one last desperate play to make, and I'm going to make it, otherwise this trial's over and I'm going to lose. And it's like, okay, what is it? And it's like, here goes. And then he'll say, Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. And I'm thinking, I don't know what he's thinking, and I don't know where to go with this, and you have to fucking figure it out yourself. So, yeah. Yeah, the pants are not smart. They are dirty as the owner. Ooh. How do you know? How can Mr. Shamspeare possibly be stealing the money? I don't understand. The simplest explanation is right before your eyes. What? A toast to you eventually realizing that the gas man could be an accomplice. Oh, you what, mate? Good lord. Eminently plausible indeed. And she's thinking, oh, really? Oh, shit. She's like, now then, sunshine. Yeah. Well, what do you have to say for yourself? Oh, please, Lady Quimby. I'm a faithful worker. And besides, if the money as Gasman collects doesn't tally with how much gas has been used, you dock our pay by the same amount. So you'd be stealing money only to have the same amount taken from your wages. Clearly that makes no sense. Perhaps it's a case of losing the battle to win the war? No. I'm not going to stir up the hornet's nest. If I went stealing from the company, I'd be finished. I'd be floating face down in the Thames. It would seem there is no evidence to support the claims of thievery made against the victim. Because Mr. William Shamspeare is innocent. And yes, who says I'm wearing pants? What? We getting raided? Wasabi Tonic, dude, how's it going? Come on in. How is life treating you? Welcome to the Raiders from Wasabi Tonic. I'm Iron Wolf. I've sometimes popped into Wasabi's channel. Haven't actually had a chance to pop into your channel for a long while though, dude. How is it going? What the hell is that emote? Oh my god, it looks like a blurred screaming face. Perfect time to say who said I'm wearing pants. Yes, exactly. Well, I picked my timing as always. It's going good, thank you very much. How are you? What were you playing today, Wasabi? What did you play and did you enjoy it? And yes, guys, welcome. I'm Iron Wolf. We're playing the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We're on the second game and we're on the second case of the second game. So we're making some good progress. We're trying to discredit the witness, aka the victim, who's accused our client of trying to poison him. And we're doing so by showing that he steals gas from the gas meter. Like he's paying with, well, I figured out he's paying with ice coins. We're working our way towards demonstrating that now. We did Luigi's Mansion 1 and Far Cry 6 when it comes to the single player stuff. Oh, cool. Nice. Oh, Luigi's Mansion. That's a game I would love to play. I haven't looked at them yet, but I'd love to play them. And guys, if you're planning to stick around from Wasabi Tonic's stream, if you want to do the stream a favor, if you like what you're seeing, you can always just click my icon down in the bottom corner, and it will lower the, it will reduce the chat and reduce the stream down. Click it again, and it will bring it back, and it will count you as a viewer for the stream as well. So yeah, because Twitch does not count people's viewers when they come in on raids for more than like 30 seconds. And after that, it unloads you from the viewer count. But you can help this channel's viewer count if you wish by doing that. I love the base capturing simulator. Yes. Oh. Anyway, we're going to get back to this now and we'll see where this goes. Pray forgive me if that shatters some illusion my learned Nipponese friend was clearly under. So he's saying that the gas meter guy who empties the gas meter might be in cahoots with Mr. Shamspeare to steal the money, but it makes no sense because then they get their wages docked by how much they were short. So, if that's the case, they don't make anything. Is that right? 'Cause I had some raids recently and they might have reloaded with increased numbers recorded in the stats. It might be, I don't know. Twitch is weird about it sometimes. Still need to finish Far Cry 5? You should. It's good. I liked Far Cry 5. I thought it was a lot of fun. I certainly didn't expect to uncover another crime that looks like has been taking place in the very same room. According to the testimony, it's only the meter in Mr. Shamspeare's room that's under suspicion. It does seem as though perhaps it has nothing to do with the incident involving Mr. Natsume. I know, it does seem that way, but the fact is, since I've been practicing law in England, I feel like I've encountered this at least once already. Cases that are interlinked. Oh. It might seem that two cases have nothing to do with one another at first, but in fact they're intimately connected. Twitch brought the auto-host and raids lately. Yeah, the auto-hosting is all weird. I can't figure it out. I don't know how to get it to get back to auto-hosting people. The settings have become so contrived and complicated. It was a solution to a problem that didn't exist. You know. Anyway. You know, they're helping. How dare you speak against our Lord and Saviour? Yes, do not disparage LexCorp in such a way. Yeah, auto-hosting has gone entirely and it's been replaced by some kind of recommended hosting thing, and it's like... I don't know if it's working then. It's weird. We've experienced that before, haven't we? I wonder if this is another instance. Perhaps, but we can't be sure of that yet. If the Altamont Gas Company has been investigating Mr. Shamspeare so earnestly, there must be something to it. But then, how has he been managing to steal the gas? Alright, so we know what this is. So yeah, for Vargas as well, just to demonstrate how this game does play out, I mean, we can keep going around in circles with this testimony, pressing them and asking them for more details, but eventually to move it along, usually you have to present evidence. So you see here which says, the meter doesn't appear to have been tampered with though, and the collection agent has the only key. We bring up the evidence list, we then go to the meter, which we know has been tampered with. And we can click Y to present that as evidence, and it will then move us along to the next bit.
Objection!
So you need to know what to do still. It doesn't do it automatically. Although, I think this game did come with a story mode. Or was that a different game? Where all the decisions are made for you. Yeah, there we go. This one does have this. The Ace Attorney HD remake, the trilogy, didn't have this. Not that I recognized anyway. But if we turn this on, it will autoplay everything, allowing you to progress the game automatically without having to press any buttons. The answers to questions and presenting of evidence are all handled on your behalf. So you can do that if you really want it to be just a visual novel. But if you want the puzzle part of the game, leave that off. Thanos has the right idea. Completely random, completely fair. He had half the right idea. Lady Altamont, I'm afraid to say that this meter clearly does show signs of having been tampered with. A what? Get away! I've been over and over that thing. I'm telling you there's nothing wrong with it. Apart from the great big fucking hole in the bottom of the money box, yeah. In that case... what do you have to say about the small hole that's been made at the base of the coin box? Hole? What? You're right. You're quite right. There is a little hole there. The meters aren't supposed to have that. None of the others do. In other words, we can assume Mr. Shamspeare secretly opened the hole himself. Yes, I wouldn't be surprised at all. But why? Yeah, why? I mean, it's tiny. You couldn't get a farthing through that. Lady Altamont, I wonder if you could give the court some more details about the meter's design. What sort of details? Well, what I'd specifically like to know is... How does it differentiate coins? Because we know he's paying with coins made of ice that he has made with a bar of soap. Like he's made a mold out of a bar of soap, and then he puts them on his window ledge because it's winter and they freeze. Hey, Urinty! Good evening, New OS, and your stream is currently in glorious potato vision. Wow. Time to check them drivers. You just noticed Naruhodo has the sword. Oh yeah, he's had that since pretty much the third chapter of the first game. Then the second chapter, it was his friend's sword. It was his friend Kazuma Asogi's sword. So when he died in the second chapter, they let him keep it. Potato Vision is just Matt's face. Stream is fine. That's true too, yes. It's like, are you sure it's Potato Vision? This is just what you get. Well, I'd specifically like to know is how the coins are differentiated. How does the meter tell the difference between different coins? What do you mean? Well, for example, if someone were to put in a 1 penny coin, that wouldn't work presumably, would it? No, of course not. So, well, how does the meter know the coin is being fed as a threepenny bit? Or a 3 penny coin? Ah, I see what you're getting at now. The meter tells coins apart by their shape and size, which includes the thickness. A threepenny bit is about 3/4 of an inch in diameter, you see. Other coins just won't fit. Ah, I see. It's clearly been very well thought out. 120p? Ugh! Oh no! Hey guys, is anybody else actually watching in 120, just so I know? I haven't been streaming in that all this time, have I? Shai told me about a recent setbacks. I'm so sorry, man. Yeah, with the fingerprints, you mean? It's been annoying. So I'm still waiting for the background check to be done, that they're then going to be able to trace in order to be able to retrieve the fingerprints from the Canadian Police database. Because going to London and getting them scanned on a machine didn't work twice. And that's the only reason I have to go through this stupid process. So yeah. 120p is my whole life. Lowest you got is 160p. Well, I'm more interested in what the highest people is getting. It's 160, thought it was 120. Ah, okay. If you have to come back to my way on the weekend, I'll buy you a beer. Just let me know. Oh, cheers, mate. Really appreciate that. Although, I mean, I'm kind of here now, like, I have to go through all my stuff. Because here's the hope. When this finally happens, when my immigration stuff, for people that are wondering, I got asked to have a Canadian police background check done for my immigration to Canada, which I shouldn't have to have done. They wanted a different police background check, which they got when I applied. But they've struggled to get my fingerprints right, because I have to go to an agency in London that they tell me to go to, scan them on a machine, and then they send them to the immigration visa office in London, where they then process them into my application. But twice they've said the prints they received were of insufficient quality. And I believe I just have really poor definition on my fingerprints because I burned some of my fingers when I was a kid. So anyway, I had to go and get them done in ink at the Forensic Bureau in the neighbouring town from where I live. They had to go to the crime scene investigation headquarters, where they'd have an identity bureau. The officer rolled them in ink for me and signed them all off, along with proofs of address and identity that I brought, and, you know, that kind of thing, and said, when she looked at them, your prints don't look great, you know. So she wrote out on a slip of paper saying, this is the best we can do, and signed that as well. And I had to mail that to Canada, to an agency that will then do a background check with those prints. They will digitize them, upload them into the Canadian Police database, and then the Canadian Police will run a background check, send it back to the agency, who will email me a scanned copy of it, and then I have to give that to the London visa office and say, here it is. They will then probably take some kind of application ID number off of it, or an entry ID number for the background check, log into their system, look at the Canadian Police background check database, and maybe they can retrieve a copy of the prints from there. And that's the only reason I have to do the background check. It is really annoying. But once that's done, I'm hoping they're going to be quick and say, okay, great, we got them. You're in. It's done. We've finished your application. Here's your papers. Get to Canada before Christmas, please. You know, that would be fantastic. In which case I need to be ideally prepared to pack everything up and go quick. And I'm in the middle of removing as much of my old life stuff as I can, things I'm not going to be taking with me. I know what I am taking with me, and I will need to then box it all up and send it away. Get it on a, you know, a shipping crate or whatever. And it's not going to be much. But still, it's bloody annoying that months ago I thought if the scans from London had worked in March, then by the middle of the year I would have got my paperwork to go. Because they asked me again in the middle of the year in June to go and get them done a second time. If they could have been telling me instead, here's your paperwork, you know, get into Canada. And they would have expired by the end of September, or by the middle of September. So I would already be in Canada now. Maybe, ideally. Don't know, but anyway. You can't just go to the local Bobby and have them sent over. That's, well, yeah, that's the problem. You know, they want it on a database they have access to. Inefficient quality. When I was doing prints for my staff, they told me to redo it straight away since they also noticed it wasn't good enough. How could they make such an issue for you? Yeah, I don't get it. You also have some damage on your tips as well. Really? So, I mean, yeah, there were some smooth patches. That was the problem. Don't burn your fingers if you want to be a Canadian. Or anything other than what you're born with, yeah. That is what I said. How do you not know they aren't good enough there and then? Very kind of you to give me your streaming PC as a way of a gift. Honestly, I don't know. You might have a better PC than mine, for all I know. Anyway. Are you running away from me? You're going further from me. I am. I'm leaving. I'm sorry. Smooth patches must be Yakuza. But yeah, that's the problem I'm having. And it's annoying. So I haven't talked about it much on stream because it was, you know, when it happened, when I got this email at the beginning of this month, it really upset me. And it upset Shy. And we were really emotional about it. So yeah. A 360 Ti. In that case, dude, I mean, you can have my 1080 if you want, but it is a downgrade. But no, I'm going to take that with me because this was I'm probably going to end up upgrading it when I'm there anyway, but for now, this is still doing a damn fine job. But my OBS backup will not fail me. Fingers crossed. Oh, yes, I hope everything goes well. Alright, so we're going to amend the formal testimony. As you wish, my lord. The meter is designed for coins of the exact diameter and thickness of a threepenny bit. Nothing else will fit. Ah, now we might need to show the bar of soap. But conversely then, it would seem that anything matching a 3p coin exactly in terms of diameter and thickness could equally well be used. Would that be true? Well, yes, in a way. The weight comes into it in a certain extent as well. We've thought that through anyway. If I find any fake coins inside the box when I empty the meter, the contract says the customer has to pay 100 times the amount they diddle as a fine. We live for moments like those, gasmen do. Live for them. Currently I have 0 scenes, which is below ideal. Oh no, but you do have the settings, exactly, yeah. Absolutely. It would seem the gas company has thought of everything. Didn't mean to make the whole thing now, just so, oh no, no problem, V. It's not that I mind talk, it's just I didn't talk about it when it happened, and then afterwards I'd moved on. So I didn't really disclose it fully in streaming, like, you know, update or anything. It's not that I don't want to talk about it now, because it's done, it's going through the motions. They've got it at the agency, they're doing their job, but yeah. I just didn't go over it on the like weekend around when it happened because it was, like I said, it was a pretty bad time, so I was very unhappy. Streaming here for you guys made me a lot happier, just playing the games, having fun, and I thought I'm not going to throw this into the middle of it because I would have probably gotten really upset. So it is an annoying cascade of failings, exactly, yeah. Woohoo! Hurrah for gas! Hurrah for cash! Altamont all the way! That's quite enough of that. Remind me, how big are Threepenny Bits? About 3/4 of an inch across. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? Is this 2 centimeter measurement significant? Or perhaps there's some other aspect of the meter's construction we should be focusing on? You may be right, perhaps I should try a different tack here. Like asking about whether the meter can be dismantled, for example. Let's delve deeper. How can the meter be dismantled? Dismantled? Yes, given there are no signs of it being forced, I'm wondering if perhaps rather than being broken open, it might have been taken apart. Well, yes, that does make some sense. The padlocks are made of first-class locksmiths from the finest quality steel. The meter box itself is made from plate steel and it's welded shut to ensure it can't be opened again. I can assure you it's quite impossible to dismantle it. Woohoo! Yeah, nothing leaks from an Altamont meter, apart from water. No coins, no gas, no nothing. That guy can crush coconuts with his chin, oh yeah. Often wonder how clever people must be to write stories like this. Yeah, I mean, writing a mystery story is really difficult. You've got to start with the ending and work your way back. There is a technique to it. And then you need to know how to inject a load of interesting hooks. Yeah, just lots of booze and enough sleep drugs. Yeah, that works too. Ah, welcome back, Urinti. I see. A witness will amend the formal testimony of the information in case it's pertinent. It's writing a D&D story, got it, yeah. As you wish, my lord. So she's amending statements left, right and fucking centre here. The joints on the meter are welded shut and the lock is made from solid steel, there's no way to dismantle it. Oh, it's changed that. It changed the testimony to one that's useless to us. Has anyone ever tried? Oh yeah, they've tried, but they've all given up before long. After all, if they actually broke the meter, the company would be able to take legal action. Yeah, that makes sense. What do you think? Is it welded steel construction significant? No, it isn't. There's some other aspect of the meter's construction we should focus on. Right, okay. Asking about how it differentiates coins. Delve deeper. But we're going to skip back through this just to get her to change her testimony back the other way. Mystery story. Write the whole thing and hand it to a kindergarten group to remove random pages. Ta-da, done. That would produce a mystery. Absolutely. Alright. So we get her to amend her testimony back. So the design for exact diameter of coins. So now we know this is where the bar of soap that we found on the window ledge comes in. Let me just have another look at this again. We might need to actually work out the size of it now. Oh, look at the bar of soap. There's a circular depression on this side about 2 centimeters across, or 3/4 of an inch. Ah, do you think? He's finally caught up to us where we were nearly 2 hours ago. Did we find the soap at the scene, didn't we? Yes, there were 2 bars on that little ledge just outside the window. We took this one. I'm sure that when we first found it, there was some sort of reddish medallion in the middle there. I remember it clearly. There's no sign of it now. Where could it have gone? I don't think the guy even drank the tea. I think what he did, he poured the tea into the bars of soap to freeze it for tomorrow's gas money. Yeah, for the next day's gas money. So when they're unable to sample the tea, and I think what's going to happen next is when they're unable to sample the tea, because all the tea was gone, they couldn't sample it to find out if it had been poisoned. What's going to be key to this case now is saying, send somebody back there, bring one of those bars of soap here, and, you know, like that circle that's in there is frozen tea. And while ours has probably dribbled away and gone, make sure they at least collect the disc, put it in a cup, take it to be tested, and see if it had poison in it. And if that's the case, we can prove our guy's innocent. They're not the brightest bunch though, no. Alright, so that's changed the description of the bar of soap to say that it has the circular depression in the middle about 2 centimeters in diameter.
Objection!
And we can object with that now. Let me just confirm something here. If the diameter and thickness were to be correct, the meter would accept any object as if it were a threepenny bit, is that correct? It's finished soon. That's correct. Well, by something of a coincidence, while we were investigating Mr. Shamspeare's room, we found a particular item that matches the dimensions perfectly. Circular depression sounds like life. Oh my god. Too much feels. Oh my god. LibreOffice on 3440 by 1440 screen looks like a lost puppy on a screen. Something the same size as a threepenny bit, was it? The item in question is this. What? Have you been inhaling gas? That's a bar of soap. It certainly looks nothing like a threepenny bit, I must say. Looks like I'm going to have to point out exactly what I mean here. What's so important about the soap is this part here.
Got it!
Got it! You have to turn over the soap to see what I mean. Ah! You're referencing the round depression in the middle of the soap there. That's right. A depression that's approximately 3/4 of an inch in diameter. Or in other words, almost exactly the same size as a threepenny bit. Get away! Does anyone here present have in their possession a threepenny bit? Quickly now, hand over your coins, ladies and gentlemen. It sounds rather like highway robbery, doesn't it? Your money or your life! Thanks to a kind member of the public in the gallery, I have a threepenny bit. Now to see if it fits. By Jove, my word! Couldn't be more snug. Toss a coin to your lawyer. Oh, courtroom of plenty. Yes, as I suspected. This, without a doubt, is a vital clue to explain how the Ultimate Gas Company has been defrauded. Well, I don't believe it. Shit. That's like 6 glasses he's destroyed now or something. So your assertion amounts to what? That some inferior bar of soap has a tentative connection to the theft of gas? Yes. The depression in the soap was clearly made by a threepenny bit. I must concur that at least that pushing the coin with some force into a poor quality bar of soap such as this is a remarkably simple way of replicating the coin's shape, or anything. And then you could use, well, some melted wax or something to pour in the mold. It would make fake coins in no time. Yeah, but then you'd find wax coins in the thing. Think this through, dude. That's another sip of wine gone. This brings all the pieces of the puzzle together. It's the method that Shamspeare has been using to steal gas that's the missing link, and now, if I follow the chain of thought, it's going to bring me to a new explanation for what happened that nobody's considered yet. But this is all nonsense. If the man had been making fake coins, my worker would have found them where he emptied the meter. Quite true, Lady Altamont, in the absence of some black magic that could make them disappear. I see. That's what we're dealing with, is it? There is one form of black magic that could cause the fake coins to disappear into thin air, yes. Exactly. The meter here gives it away. What on earth? There are remnants of the magical method used visible on the gas meter taken from the victim's room. If that's your assertion, counsel, the defense will identify the remnants for the court at once. Where on the meter can the remnants of the method used to make the fake coins disappear be seen? It would be here, of course.
Got it!
We found the bar of soap at the scene of the crime outside the victim's window. Outside? Yes, outside, where you yourself, Mr. Meterman, were loitering in the freezing winter air. That's where we found the soap. Ah, I get it. That's right. The answer, of course, is ice. Did you say ice? Mr. Shamspear has been leaving soap like this outside his window each evening filled with water. Although we know the water tap had frozen up, but that's probably why he used Mr. Natsume's tea. Why he didn't drink it. After a night outside in the bitter cold, the water is completely frozen solid the next morning. Then he takes his fake coins of ice and feeds them into the gas meter, giving him light and warmth in spades. After his room becomes very comfortably warm, the ice now inside the meter coin box melts, turning back into water and draining harmlessly away through the small hole made in the underside of the meter. That's how, without leaving any evidence of his wrongdoing, this man has been stealing Altamont's gas. Yes, stealing gas with water. Just like that, so simply. Is he trying to make us look like idiots? He succeeded. He's been fooling us all with some bars of soap and water. That's right, madam. I don't believe it. It can't be true. Do you have any idea how much money we spent to develop the new meters? And now you have the audacity to suggest that a bit of soap and some water can render it totally useless. Oh, wow, okay. You're welcome. I'm fairly sure I didn't design it. Evidence. The picture. Sorry? I want evidence. If you're going to stand there and tell me our meters are rubbish, I want to see proof. I didn't say anything of this fucking sort, woman. She's very good at enforcing accountability, isn't she? So you didn't need to try to prove that they're stupid, exactly. Very well, Lady Altamont. If you'd like evidence, I'll prove it. What? Mr. Naruhodo, are you saying you do actually have evidence to support the theory? Again, welcome to 2 fucking hours ago. I did notice a trace of something that bothered me a little at the time. And again, that's what I was talking about. If you hadn't figured this out, it's like, I noticed a trace of something. And you're like, okay, what is it? I'm not telling you. You've got to figure it out. He's figured it out, now you have to catch him up. I have a feeling that this theory we've come up with could now explain it. A piece of evidence that substantiates the theory about how Mr. Shamspear has been stealing gas is the picture.
Take that!
Because there's a mark on the floor under the gas meter that looks like watermarks. This is a photograph of the scene at the point when the victim was discovered, taken by Inspector Gregson, and it clearly shows the remnants of the crime carried out by Mr. Shamspear. What remnants? See it? Here you can see the gas meter on the wall in Mr. Shamspear's room. Now, look closely at the floorboards directed underneath the meter. See, when they first produced this photograph at the very beginning of the trial, I noticed that and I thought, that's weird. And then when I thought about the bar of soap briefly, I thought, oh, hang on, he's been stealing gas by using ice coins and then the water dribbles out. It just came straight to me. And when I looked at the actual bar of soap and the reddish brown disc that was in it had gone, I was like, yep, I know it. And we just did it. What is that? Some kind of grubby stain? Wolf too smart for this game. I am. Needs to get less smart with big titty games. No, this is fine by me. Yay, Chatty My Chap application worked out of the box with all the settings after a fresh install. Woo! Almost certainly it's a water stain resulting from the liquid that drains out of the hole made by the meter. Ah! If one coin gives around 2 hours of gas usage, the occupant was heating the room in all his working hours, we imagine he would have used 10 of these fake coins each day. The melting ice inside the meter's box would have been dripping out almost constantly, leaving a stain on the floor. This is awful. And there's further evidence too. Is there? Mr. Shamspear is slumped over the table, apparently having consumed strychnine. And right next to him is a bar of soap, broken in half. Yeah, I think he was making another coin thingy. You're right. It would appear to me then, Counsel, the man was eating the soap, was he? Pardon me for disagreeing with you, your lordship, but certainly not. He didn't beat around the bush, did he? We could have had him with us when Sholmes was presenting that stupid theory at the crime scene. In truth, Mr. Shamspeare was found with a fork in his hand. A meal of soap is... oh no. Do you mean to say he was using the fork to... Yes. To extract a frozen coin from a bar of soap. Ah. But the bar broke in half. So perhaps it didn't go very well. Yeah, but that would require him... I think what's happened actually, guys, is that he's had a seizure instead. And he's broke the thing, you know. Good gracious. I think that's what's happened. Is that Shamspeare just had a seizure. Oh god, there goes another bottle. Lord Van Zykes? I was throwing my hand up in despair. And happened to catch my hallowed bottle on the way. Pray forgive my maladroit mistake. What's the meaning of this, counsel? I know, so much wine going to waste. Allow me to pose my learned friend a question. What exactly did you establish with your most recent cross-examination? Well, the witness is a filthy lying bastard, and his testimony can't be trusted. That Mr. William Shamspeare is a liar and a thief. In other words, that his testimony is unreliable. That's it exactly, yes. Very well, let us assume the man is a liar. Now allow me to pose another question. What possible difference does that make? Well, we know that suicide can be discounted. Scotland Yard's investigation revealed no sign of another vessel that contained poison. And yet, you are assuming poison, yet you don't have any proof of there being poison anywhere. I don't get that still. I should just stand behind him and catch the bottles. Oh yeah, some industrious member of the public gallery behind him should totally have like a bug catcher's net or something. And as soon as he hurls one, they should catch it. Like, yep, that's mine. Coming home with me. On the night in question, there was no visitors to the room except the accused. The young gasman's testimony, which we have no reason to doubt, has confirmed that. Furthermore, the only possible way that poison could have entered the man's body via the tea. The court has seen no evidence whatsoever that suggests otherwise. Yeah, wine catcher, dream job. Even if William Shamspeare is the liar you claim him to be, these facts have been objectively established. There is no escaping it. Ah! Therefore, in light of these facts, the prosecution calls for immediate adjudication. What? Nani? Order! Order! Well, counsel, how does the defense respond? Mr. Naruhodo? What was the point of the last cross-examination? Did it actually get us anywhere? Or did it make no difference at all? Like Lord Van Zykes is saying. I raise an objection! No, this isn't over. It's never over! The defense will not rest. What? But, counsel, you've successfully explained everything. You've identified and substantiated the unscrupulous methods by which Mr. Shamspeare consumes gas. What's more is there to discuss? Lord Van Zykes just highlighted 3 facts in order to make his point. But contrary to what he would have the court believe, not all of them have been objectively established at all. What are you trying to say, my Nipponese friend? At least one of the so-called facts is an assumption, made due to a lack of evidence. But the situation has changed now, following the cross-examination of the latest witness to take the stand. Don't be absurd. What is this nonsense? Yes, when you bring everything we've learnt so far together and consider it as a whole, it's clear. There's a question that we need to reconsider, namely, was the poison in the tea? Or was it? Was there another visitor? We know that's not possible. Was someone else responsible? But no, we need to know if the poison was still in the tea. There has been no objective proof of that. It's still circumstantial. Tea coins, yes, exactly, Urena. He used the tea to make the coin because the tea, the coins were a reddish brown colour. The one that we had in the bar of soap the previous day, before it has now clearly melted away, because they didn't know what they were looking at. They thought it was a fancy emblem moulded into the soap as like a brand product or something. So, but it was reddish brown in colour, which I said a couple of hours ago when I figured that bit out, not knowing where it was going. I was like, that was tea. So now we know they can't test the tea because there's none left, except there is. There is tea in the other bars of soap still sitting on his window ledge. And if we send somebody to go pick it up, they can test it. That's, I think, where this trial is going. So what's poison in the tea? We've all been led to believe that the strychnine poison that affected Mr. Shamspear was in the tea brought to him by Mr. Natsume, but that's conjecture at best. The victim has testified that nothing else passed his lips that night. There's no other possibility. And since there was no trace of the tea left at the scene, it couldn't be tested for traces of poison. Well done, thank you for highlighting exactly what I'm getting at. You have no proof of poison in the tea. Sure, if he drank some of the tea, but...
Objection!
As I said, the situation has changed, because in fact, some of Mr. Natsume's tea was left at the crime scene. And a particular piece of evidence proves it. Yes, thank you for helping me, Mr. Prosecutor. A ludicrous claim. Scotland Yard detectives investigated the scene exhaustively. In the room, yes. What evidence are you suggesting they missed? The defense has made a bold claim indeed. Very well, counsel. Present your proof. What evidence from the scene of the crime can tell us the nature of the defendant's tea? The soap!
Take that!
It's an objection off, yes. Good gracious. The soap again? The same bar that the victim used to fashion the coins of ice? Yes, that's right, my lord. It's just come back to me. You see, Mr. Natsume, earlier on when he gave his testimony, said that the pipes froze at the house, and therefore the water wasn't working, but he bought bottled water from a shop nearby in order to make the tea. So the water didn't come from a tap in the house because the pipes had frozen. The main tap had frozen. So Mr. Shamspear couldn't make his ice coins because, ironically, the water in the taps was ice. So, yeah. He probably saw, oh, he brought me tea. Fantastic, I'm not going to drink this, and I'm going to use this to make my ice coins for the next few gas meter coins. Yes, that's right, my lord. It just came back to me. Something about when we first found the bar of soap at the scene yesterday. It's more bars of soap. Soap? What are bars of soap doing lying on the ledge outside the window? Well, now we know. I'm quite certain that when we originally stumbled upon the bars of soap, there was actually a frozen coin in each bar. So you discovered the gas thief's coin factory. Fascinating. In a way, yes, but there's more. The coins we found in the soap at the time weren't normal ice. There was something strange about them, you mean? Exactly. Something very obviously strange. They were red. The ice was red. No, you mean... That's right. It's obvious to me now. The fake coins in the soap were made from frozen tea. What? I would remind the court of the statement made by Mr. Natsume earlier in this trial. That evening, yes, I did take some freshly brewed tea with me when I visited Mr. Shamspear's room as a gift. The public water pump outside always freezes at night, so I bought bottled water especially to make it. And this is the result! I will never touch tea again! Never! Ah yes, I believe there had been a snowfall that day and it was particularly cold. Sadly, on such occasions, the poor constructed water mains in the east end are prone to freezing. So on the night in question, Mr. Shamspeare, having no running water to use, was forced to use the tea brought by Mr. Natsume in order to make his fake coins. My word. There were 2 bars of soap on the window ledge when my judicial assistant and I investigated the scene. That's right, and we only borrowed 1 of them. Which means that even as we speak, some of the defendant's tea is still present at the scene of the crime, frozen solid in bars of soap outside Mr. Shamspeare's window. Extraordinary! Earlier today, Inspector Gregson informed the court that if even 1 drop of the tea remained, Scotland Yard would be able to analyse it for poison. As such, we are now in a position to prove or disprove what has until now been mere conjecture. By finding out for sure whether or not Mr. Natsume's tea actually contains strychnine at all. Ugh, you smug Nipponese. My lord, we cannot do the defendant the injustice of passing judgment now. The police should be dispatched to recover the remaining bars of soap from the scene at once, and the defense requests a thorough analysis of the tea embedded in it, to determine whether or not it contains any poison. Bailiff! Bailiff! Instruct the police to attend the scene at once. Yes, my lord, understood. Da-da-da-da! How about that? It would seem we have no choice but to suspend the proceedings for the time being. I trust you have no objection, Lord Van Zykes? None, my lord. Scotland Yard will recover the tea from the scene and carry out the requisite tests immediately. The trial will resume at the same hour tomorrow. This is a multi-day trial. This is the first one we've done. The prosecution and the defense may conduct further investigations as appropriate in the interim. Yes, my lord. Van Zykes is like, fuck you. Now, lick coin to taste for poison. Yes, that's how they test it. I would not like to be an intern at Scotland Yard. Well, we managed to scrape through somehow. Thank you, counsels. Court is adjourned until tomorrow. To be continued. Let me get this to a point where we can exit. Because guys, we're like 10 minutes overdue for the end of the stream, so we're going to be finishing here in a moment. Just give me a second.